goal for Arsenal from Thierry Henry.
That's how you start a legacy. Thierry Henry wasn't just a goal machine. He was poetry in motion. The speed of a sprinter, the finish of a sniper, the swagger of a king. He glided past defenders like they weren't even there. And when he scored, he barely celebrated. He just knew. From the streets of Les Ulis to lifting World Cups, from Arsenal's golden days to Sky Sports banter, Thierry Henry changed football. But how exactly? Well, sit tight. This story's got style, scandal, and Va Va Voom written all over it. Thierry Henry didn't learn the game on manicured grass pitches. He learned it on concrete courts where space was tight and flair was survival. Born to parents from Guadeloupe and Martinique, Henry grew up in a household where discipline was king. His father pushed him hard, real hard, but it built him. By the age of 13, he was at INF Clairefontaine, France's elite football school. There, scouts watched him, coaches shaped him, but no one could quite figure out what he was yet. A winger? A striker? A lightning bolt in boots? He joined Monaco at 17, under one of the best teachers in the game, Arsene Wenger. Wenger saw what others missed, not just the speed, but the brain behind it. Henry didn't just run, he read the game 2 seconds ahead. But it wasn't all smooth. In 1999, Henry moved to Juventus. It was supposed to be his big break. Instead, it was a tactical disaster. Italy wanted defense, Henry wanted to dance. He scored 3 goals and nearly lost himself until one phone call changed everything. Arsene Wenger, Arsenal, London, a second chance. But would the Premier League be ready for the most elegant assassin the game had ever seen? When Henry arrived at Arsenal in 1999, the critics were skeptical. Can he handle the physicality? Isn't he just another failed winger from Juve? Yeah, those critics, they got humbled real quick. Wenger converted him from winger to striker, and just like that, Arsenal had a weapon no one could defend. He didn't just score, he glided, side-eyed, finessed, and walked away like, yeah, I meant that. His speed was absurd, his finishing clinical, and the style untouchable. Whether it was a solo run from halfway or a cheeky flick over a keeper, Henry made football look like jazz, smooth, unpredictable, and straight up beautiful. And then there it was, 2003-2004, the Invincibles. Henry led the charge with 30 league goals, guiding Arsenal through a full season undefeated. No losses, no fear, just history. He wasn't just a striker, he was a phenomenon. However, it wasn't just the goals, it was the elegance, the composure, the way he made defenders panic before he even touched the ball. By 2005, he was Arsenal's all-time top scorer, a living legend. But legends, they don't stay still forever. Barcelona was calling, and Henry, he wasn't done collecting greatness. Then came 2007, when Thierry Henry left Arsenal for Barcelona. A bold move? Definitely. But Henry wasn't just chasing trophies, he was chasing legacy. And boy, did he find it. At first he struggled, the system was different, the role was wider, the spotlight now shared with Ronaldinho, Xavi, Iniesta, and a rising kid named Messi. But Henry adjusted. He sacrificed his central role, adapted his game, and became the ultimate team player. Not just scoring, but assisting, pressing, leading. Then came 2008 to 2009, the treble season, La Liga, Copa del Rey, Champions League. Henry, Messi, and Eto'o tore defenses to shreds. They were untouchable, especially at the Champions League final versus Manchester United. He finally had what he came for. Champions League? Check. Global respect? Doubled. Off the pitch, we saw a different Thierry. Reserved, thoughtful, sharp dresser, always one eyebrow raised. In interviews, he spoke about passion, pressure, and identity. After Barca, he made one last stop in New York with the Red Bulls, still scoring, still schooling defenders in slow motion. Even in the MLS, the finesse never faded. He was top class until the end. But when he finally hung up the boots, people asked what now? Turns out, Thierry had plenty to say as a pundit, mentor, and maybe future manager. But one thing's for sure, No one ever made goals look that good again. On the pitch, he was royalty. Off it, Thierry Henry is still commanding attention, but this time with a mic instead of a ball. After retiring, he didn't just disappear into a beachside villa. No, he became the voice of football. First with Sky Sports, where he instantly became a fan favorite. Why? Because he mixed football IQ with unfiltered honesty. He also took on coaching, assistant for Belgium's national team, and later head coach at Monaco and Montreal Impact. Results were mixed, but the ambition, very real. Henry didn't want to just talk about the game. He wanted to teach it, to inspire. Just like the greats inspired him, Ronaldo Nazario, Van Basten, and his childhood hero, Jean-Pierre Papin. But behind the cameras, Henry's a private man. Rare interviews and even rarer scandals. He speaks through his football, and when he does speak, it's measured, passionate, as sharp as ever. He's also a fierce advocate for racial equality in football, calling out the game's uncomfortable truths. From swagger on the field to wisdom off of it, Henry's legacy isn't just about goals. It's about elevating the game at every level. And the best part? He still makes football feel elegant, even when he's just sitting in a studio. But with all that flair and fire still in him, you have to wonder, is he done with coaching? Or is the next act of the Henry story just getting started? That sound lives rent-free in the minds of football fans, because Thierry Henry didn't just score goals, he painted portraits with his boots. With 228 goals for Arsenal, he remains their all-time top scorer. He won 2 Premier League titles, 2 FA Cups, became an invincible, won La Liga, the Champions League, and lifted the World Cup and Euro with France. You name it, he's got it in the trophy cabinet. But here's the kicker, he did it all while making it look effortless. No wild goal celebrations, no trash talk, just a cool jog back to the halfway line, like, that's just what I do. And who could forget his return to Arsenal in 2012? Coming on as a sub, the crowd roared. That signature finish, that celebration, arms out, chin up, eyes closed, chills every time. Thierry was more than a striker, he was a movement. Fast, intelligent, elegant, deadly. He inspired a generation of players and made fans fall in love with football's beauty, not just its power. Now as a pundit and mentor, he's still shaping the game. And maybe, just maybe, that coaching fire hasn't burned out yet. Because when you've lived like Thierry Henry, you don't retire your legacy, you extend it. So, what made Thierry Henry football's most elegant striker? The touch, the tempo, the mind, the magic. He wasn't just playing the game, he was teaching it in real time. From the streets of Les Ulis to the bright lights of Highbury, Camp Nou and beyond, he changed the way we watch football. And whether he's behind the mic or back on the training pitch someday, one thing's for sure, he'll do it with style. If you love this story, drop a like, subscribe, and tell us what's your favorite Thierry Henry moment. Thanks for watching, and remember, Va Va Voom never fades.